Hey yo, salute to the people. It's the social forecast. Today is Friday, August 9th. It's about 1 p.m. And I hope you all do something today to further your goals and to help you realize your dreams. All right, let's talk about something. So I came across a meme, a post on social media. I'm going to read it to y'all and then I'm going to break it down. It says, marriage is not 50-50. Divorce is 50-50. Marriage has to be 100-100. It isn't dividing everything in half, but giving everything you got. Now, if you read that meme, that post, and take it at face value, it makes perfect sense. And most people have that generalized concept about relationships, but I'm going to explain to y'all why that's not true and why that a post like that, that way of thinking, that philosophy, that approach and mindset in relationships is a big part of the reason why so many relationships fail. And it's a big part of the reason why so many marriages still, about 1 out of every 2, end in divorce. The last part of that post, that meme, is a contradiction. And I'm going to break it down for y'all. It says, not dividing everything in half, but giving everything you've got. With everything in life, we seem to understand that we have, as individuals, ebbs and flows, ups and downs, peaks and valleys. We know that with dealing with work. We have some days where we're super productive, and we have days where we're just not feeling it. Same thing can be said about if you think back to when you were going to school. Some days you just didn't feel it. Some days you had all the energy and motivation in the world to apply yourself fully and reach your full capability and capacity in whatever it was that you were trying to accomplish. But here's what we seem to forget when it comes to relationships. This whole 50-50 or 100-100 thing, I understand what people mean when they say that. They basically mean two people meeting each other halfway, bringing to the table equally, and both people providing and compromising together. I get it. It makes perfect sense on the surface. But the mindset of a person meeting you halfway, the mindset of a person being able to bring equally to the community pot, is not a realistic expectation for any of us, not even the best of us. And I'm going to keep this one short. I'm not going to make it too long, but I really want y'all to pay attention and try to apply this in your current relationship and see if there are differences. And if there are, see whether those differences are positive and negative. And then get in the comments and we can talk about it. So, it is humanly impossible to give 100% of yourself to anything or anyone 100% of the time. Not only is it not humanly possible, if it were possible, it wouldn't be smart to do. In fact, it would be kind of stupid to do, to be honest. A relationship is supposed to be about give and take. The compromise in the relationship is the understanding, and if you don't have the understanding, finding a way to adopt the understanding that there are going to be times when a person will not be able to give 100% of themselves. Actually, more often than not, we cannot give 100% of ourselves. There are going to be less times in your relationship that you will be able to give 100% of yourself than there will be times that you won't. And that's just a natural fact of life. Some days you're going to wake up, there are going to be situations, there are going to be spats, there are going to be issues. It could be something in your personal life that has nothing to do with your relationship. It could be work related. It could be maybe you feeling a little bit depressed about getting older, not reaching a certain accomplishment or goal that you would have thought you would have reached by that point in time in your life. Anything can affect you. Health issues can affect you. Issues with your kids reaching a certain age and becoming more rebellious can affect you. But the vast majority of us, day in and day out, cannot give 100% of ourselves to anything, let alone another relationship. Most of us don't even have the energy or motivation to give 100% of ourselves to ourselves to try and solve the problems and the issues that we have within ourselves. So how can we ever hope to try and apply that energy, that motivation to another person and their issues and their problems and their baggage? Now, in a relationship, especially if it's one of longevity and one that you want to be successful, that is required, but not all the time. And it's not reasonable to expect that from anyone. And it's something that over the years I've had to learn the hard way, but it does ring true. So I'm going to paint y'all a scenario. Try to wrap your minds around this concept. A relationship is a back and forth. You'll either have two people giving 65-35, 80-20, 90-10, 70-30, 15-85, 75-25. Y'all see where I'm going with this? It's a back and forth. The compromise comes in where the person who is giving the 65 or the 75 or the 80 or the 90, or even in extreme cases the 95, to the other person's 5, 15, 25, 30. The person that's giving the majority of that percentage at whatever point in time that's happening, the understanding is supposed to be, when you're down, I hold you up. When you can't bring whatever should be brought to the table, I can cover that, and whatever that may need to be. And then when there are times when I can only give 15, when I can only give 20, when I can only give 5% of myself, of my energy, of my affection, of whatever, then you're in return supposed to cover that weight and pick up where I can't meet you in the middle. The trust comes in because you're trusting that that person will do that for you the same way you did it for them. To make that circle continue to turn and flow in a continuous stream, that's where the communication, that's where the understanding of one another comes in. That's where the loyalty comes in. That's where the faithfulness to the situation, to the relationship, to the connection comes in. Those are the things that we can't seem to figure out. But I believe that we need to approach it from the end and come back to the beginning. If we understand the cycle, if we understand the end goal, maybe the process becomes easier. The person that you're dealing with, living with, married to, have kids with, co-parent with, sleep with every night, what have you, cannot give you 50-50 every day of the week. They may not even be able to give you 35 every day of the week. There are going to be times when that person can only give you 10 or 15. Are you willing to provide that other 85 to 90%? And then if that's the case, are your boundaries clearly set, and have you discussed that with your partner? Because you don't expect to have to carry 90% for an extended amount of time, because then that drains your life force, that drains your motivation, that drains your energy. It's not about what a person can't bring to the table. It's not about what a person can't carry for you and for the relationship during those times when you may need them to. It's about why not. What's the reason? Is that person just unwilling, or are they just in one of those stages in their life or seasons in their life that we all go through when they may want to, but they just can't? Those are the things that we have to communicate with each other. Talk, interact, listen, figure it out together, because once we drop the idea, the theory, the concept, the belief, the understanding, the expectation, the false narrative that it's 50-50 or 100-100 and what I give you should be giving equally, once we drop that mindset, I believe a lot of our relationships will become not only easier, but have the propensity to be exponentially more successful. And it doesn't just apply to romantically charged relationships. I believe it applies to any form of relationship, be it a friendship, a sibling relationship, whatever it is, even with, parent-child. Start looking at it from that standpoint, and looking at it from the standpoint of what that person may not be able to provide because they're tired or impatient or feeling a little bit hopeless at the time, or having stress at work, or whatever it is. Talk these things through, and then understand that sometimes a person is at their limit and may not be able to physically give what they may want to give mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm my biggest fan, so be yours. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.